Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. This is John with Tommy's Top Picks here to bring you a weekly market update. A little bit of interesting news, but nothing too crazy. But we'll dig in and go over it. And if you like the content, hit the subscribe button. We are now over 200, and we did our duck giveaway last night. It was a lot of fun. Thank you for joining us, for those that did, and thank you for all those who participated. It seems like we've already gotten the information we need to get the comic out, so very excited about that. Looks like we are introducing a new and odd, we'll call it maybe a tradition or future tradition. Whoever is doing the giveaway will draw the duck that is the winning duck, sign it, take a picture to prove that they drew and signed it, and send it along with the giveaway. Murphy's on deck to get that done. He said he would do it, and I think it's something we can do going forward. We might even number them as a series 1 of 10, signed by John or Murphy or Tommy. So how fun is that? I think it's fun. I think it's hilarious, actually. It seems other people agree. So let's go ahead and jump into the market update. This is a day early. I'm doing it Wednesday evening, but I don't expect the markets to change too much. The one exception might be this craziness that's happening right here. Arc Unlimited boxes jumped from 79 a box, which was a low, notable blue, to 103, a 23% jump. That is big. I mean, 74, 69, so 2 weeks of decline, jumped up to 90, dropped down to 80, back up over 103 for Arc Unlimited boxes. Boy, I'm glad I have some of those sitting on the shelf. We all knew this would happen eventually. I know I've said on this channel before that Arc seemed to be the first and most supply constrained. So it's starting to happen. I don't know if it will last. This may just be volatility in supply or ability to get it around from distribution or whatever. But my guess is that we're getting pretty close to the point where there is no more ever again. I don't think it will be something that happens overnight. I doubt we'll even know it happened for months for sure. But it is getting to that point, and these prices will jump up as a result. And then over time, over history, as the tail kind of extends out, you'll get the step ladder approach, which is what typically happens with games like Magic and other collectible games, where the supply just kind of decays and disappears, and then people are like, hey, I really want that and I can't get it, I will pay extra for it, and that bumps it to the next level, and then people get used to that price, etc., etc. So it looks like we're getting the first hints of that with Arc. Let's be serious here, though. Arc did something similar not that long ago. $97 here, $98, $98, $102 back here. So it's not like this is unprecedented territory for Arc. I just think here's 104 all the way back in February. So this does happen. So don't go out there and buy every piece of Arc yet. Point is that the more times we ping up to these levels, and the more times it starts to seem reasonable for sales and people actually buy at that price, the more the market will get comfortable with that place as a price point that is acceptable. And when that happens, when it becomes acceptable and the norm, that's when it becomes a baseline instead of a ceiling, if you will. So I think we're starting to see that. Again, we've pinged up here 3 or 4 times in the past, call it 6 or 7 months. And so I think at some point this will be the new norm at 103-ish, and then it will sit there for a long, long time. Nothing else in the unlimited boxes are interesting. Arc unlimited cases dropped, actually, so we probably have, we'll double check this, but we probably have, well, no, I can do the math right here. 346 divided by 4, guess what that is? Less than 103, so there's an arbitrage opportunity here. It looks like a fairly decent one. Not exactly sure. We'll see the number at the other chart, but fairly decent arbitrage opportunity. Was that 50 divided by 4? $12 a box, something like that, give or take. A little bit more, actually, because it's 46. $13 a box, something like that. So that's decent. That's shipping. That is a reasonable arbitrage opportunity. So if you can get it at 346, crack it and sell it at 103, which again, these are market list prices. These are not sold at prices. There's no guarantee anyone's buying at 103. Double check the data yourself, do your own due diligence. Point being, pretty good situation. Might be worth digging into if you're really interested in doing that sort of thing. Regardless, it is a sign that Arc is becoming harder to come by. The more times we ping up here and the more frequently we ping up there, the more likely it is that we're seeing the end of it. Mon, it is notable but not quite on the heat map. It's down 4.2. Hey, look at that, 420. Down 4.2%. And so not crazy, not out of the realm. We've been here before, you know. This is well within the range. Is just it's the next step. I thought it was notable, so I highlighted it instead of color coded because it wasn't 5%. Arc First Edition boxes, they're on fire as well, up 9.4%. This is kind of cool. A little sad myself because I never did pull the trigger on this. This is called waiting too long. I kept saying, I think I started saying it back here. Look, these are getting tasty. These are getting tasty, and then I didn't take my own advice because I was busy putting capital into other things. And so now it may be too late. I'm gonna wait a week or two because, as we know, with rubber banding, you hit those peaks and then you drop back down. We'll see what happens. These are slower movers because they don't have as much volume in sales, as you can tell by the lack of heat signatures here, or heat mapping here. But we'll see. We'll see what next week holds, and maybe it drops back down. I'll know that 1450 is a real low period of a real low number that people will not stick with for too long. People will buy it up. So moving on, really nothing else. Closest thing is Mon First Edition cases, dropped another 4.5%. So these are getting really tempting at that price. First edition case. I already have one on the shelf, so I don't really need one. But if you don't have one and you want to hold on to one and you didn't get burned, you're looking at some of the lowest prices you'll probably see in the game in the period of time. It could go lower, especially if we do get economic downturns that come up. So nothing is certain right now. We are in a period of very high uncertainty and instability in the market. So don't dive all in on anything. Whatever you do, make sure you have more capital to utilize if things get worse. That is not financial advice. That's a guy talking about cardboard. All right, so let's jump on over to here. I'm going to do it in the right order this week. Sorry about that last week, jumping right into the charts. This way you can hear the cool market stuff and then ditch before the boring charts, if that's your preference. So, Storm Striders. Tommy and I talked about this a little bit. Definitely the hotness right now. I'm guessing Icelander is the reason. Maybe Kano. I know Kano has some pretty cool tech, although it does not seem to be showing up in the Road to Nationals. I don't really know. It seemed pretty good at Pro Tour before. There's definitely crazy combos in there, but maybe it just doesn't hold up against some of these other decks. I'm not sure. Could just be Fi as a spoiler on it. I could see that. It's understandable. So regardless, these Storm Striders are moving quite a bit. Let's dig in real quick. Look at the chart. Yeah, the prices aren't moving. They're just selling. You know, this was today. So they are moving on a regular basis, multiple a week. But it's just it's staying flat. Crown of Providence. This one's interesting. Cold foil is continuing to climb, which is just making me grind my teeth out of uncertainty and concern. Rainbow foils are definitely moving. Let's take a quick look here. Cold foils sold yesterday. Yeah, so the cold foils are moving too every few days. No wonder the price is going up because they are selling. All right. Flamescale Furnace, another hot piece because it works with both heroes. This one got our J drop, you know, and this is typically like right here is usually where I'd buy, right after the bottom. I'm going to try to stick it out longer for these ones, especially the ones I don't need. I'm not playing a Draconic character right now, so I will wait patiently and try to get to the next set or close to it, the hype cycle of the next set, so that these become boring and no one is interested in them. I don't know if that will work because while Fi might collect a lot of points in the next, call it 6 months, and it's not even 6 months, it's like 4 months, I don't think Dromai will, and I think Dromai has room to become more expansive in the meta, especially with the retirement of Prism coming up. By the way, Prism is 2 points away as of this recording. 2 points away from Living Legend status. Now, granted, they don't make the announcement until the next ban is restricted. That's right after France Pro Tour, I believe, right after. I'm pretty sure it's like a week after. So there will be no modification to Prism status as a competitive deck for a while. That's the end of August, so we have a month and some days. Drakai, this one's interesting. This is holding up pretty well, though now it's finally starting to dip down. That's good for me as a collector wanting to buy it. The playable has continued to decline, though very, very slowly. Not like accelerating decline, but it is declining. So that one's probably worth holding off on from the collector standpoint. If you want to play it, obviously you got to play it. E-Strike is still going. Skullbone Cross Wrap, no idea. Still don't get this one. Why this is... Yeah, it's just a flat line. It's not like there's price action that's interesting. It's just being bought. Lexi didn't even make it into second day, so of the big road to nationals the other day, or was it Battle Hardened? Whatever it was the other day. Utrecht, that's what it was. Yeah, she didn't even make it to day 2, so I'm not entirely sure why Skullbone is doing what it's doing. I'm not even sure Lexi uses Skullbone. I think that's Azalea. But I could be wrong. If you have an idea, let me know in the comments. As mentioned before, Command and Conquer is back up to about $100. It was $99 the other day, so it's kind of doing a little wiggle right around this, call it 80 to 95 range with a few spikes outside of it. Nothing too crazy. A little sad that the history packs aren't doing their job on that. I guess they need to do a reprint, like Scar for Scar or something. Hopefully they do. Shuko is, I think, up $1 since the last time I saw it. Yeah, it's kind of floating. Nothing crazy, mostly going down, but just kind of floating there. Erase Face holding up. I've seen this as high as 30 in the past week or so, and Cornet and all these are kind of like second tier. Once you get to here, it just kind of drops off. Vol High, just worth noting because it did its little price spike for a minute there. It got up to, you can see 300, sold at 300. It's already back to 225. So whatever was happening with this, and people are speculating it was a buyout club. I mean, less than a month ago, it was, so we got 217. I can't scroll any further down because the way the screen's set up. Underneath is 214, 202, 195, 195, 190, 185. And that was on 717. So 717, the same day as this 220 buy here. It was bought for 185 cold foil. Yeah, so it went from 185 up to 300 and then dropped down to 225 range. It doesn't make sense. These boxes are still available. They're printed heavily. I don't see this becoming anything different anytime soon. Even if Unlimited isn't released, I doubt these are going to go up super high. There's plenty of them. I guess we will see what that's about. Maybe someone has a hint that there's just killer Guardian cards coming in. Maybe people think it's in preparation for Bravo becoming a big part of the meta with Prism gone. Again, not till after August. I don't know. I'm not sure what that's about, but it does seem a little bit early to see buyouts around these types of things. So anyways, that's it for the news. We can see Phantasmal Footsteps went back down. I thought that was interesting. All right, let's get back to the charts. Finish this off real quick. WTR. Ooh, hold up. This doesn't look like it's showing everything. It isn't. There we go. WTR sitting flat, kind of sitting at that downtrend flat line. Here is the arbitrage for WTR. It is a total of $4 per box. Nothing special. This is all unlimited for these first set of charts. Dropping off, and here is, oh, we can't actually see the number. That stinks. Yeah, like I said, I'm pretty sure it's like 13 bucks. This is ARC unlimited cases basically dropped while the price per box skyrocketed. Again, this is not sold, so take it with a grain of salt. Do your own due diligence, do your own research. It's a good idea to do that whenever you listen to a YouTuber tell you about things financially related, because most of the time they're trying to fool you for their own purpose. I am not doing that because that is silly in my mind, but some people do that. Nothing too crazy with crew, hanging flat at a higher level. This could almost be seen as one of those steps, right? So we had this stable price for a long time, then jumped up here. You get your volatility, which you always get at the first part of the step, and then kind of average, if it stays here, average kind of middling high versus its high. That is how I would expect the step to appear when it does appear for any of these products. Nothing really interesting on any of these. In fact, most of these charts are going to be very boring because, as we noted, nothing has changed that much in the past few weeks. Got quiet. Interesting sign. I will say, economically, while we look through these, Tales of Aria, still with its healthy premium. Economically, green shoots, as I described last week, oh yeah, nothing on Everfest, are definitely happening, still a thing, but there's definitely more pressure. We just got a 75 basis point increase in the interest rates from the Fed this afternoon. That will affect markets. So far, it's affecting it in a positive way, but that does tend to happen in the first 24 hours or so, and then it kind of recorrects when assets move around. We'll see what happens. Give it a week. Let's see how that goes. This is ARC in first edition. It is a tightening premium, so that is interesting. We'll see if we get an ARB opportunity. Wouldn't that be wild on ARC first edition? Crew down and steady, tightening premium. I mean, the tightening premiums just tell me that the collectors are less interested in holding large quantities of sealed products. So if we see these things start to come into parity, we know that collectors have pretty much left the sealed product game, especially on the older stuff. The newer stuff, it's like going to be wild for a while, especially 2.0. We don't 2.0 doesn't have an unlimited, but 2.0 cases versus boxes, we just don't know how that's going to play out at this stage. It's way too early. And finally, Everfest. Starting to tick back up, probably because of the grandeur. That's the only thing I can think of. Parity on the premium. None of that really matters. There's plenty of product there, and it's going to keep doing its thing. I think it's still under map, too, isn't it? It's like the 35% map. And then, of course, our uprising is completely nonsensical because of the artificial floor. So anyways, that is it for the market update. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment, tell me I'm a dummy, I forgot something, or tell me about the meta and how it's changing the market, influencing things. Whatever you're seeing out there, I'd love to hear from you and know kind of what the thoughts are. I definitely do not have a crystal ball, and I do not know all of it. So I will make mistakes, and I will do my best to report on the data as I see it. Anyways, I hope you guys are having fun cracking packs and playing some games, because that is what this is all about, enjoying the hobby. And I hope you have a good one. See you next time.